Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Emerald County! Today we're back in Castlerock Industrial. Yes, it has a name now, it is Castlerock Industrial, it is its own district. Castlerock's actually been split into 3 different districts. We've got Lower and Upper and then Central Castlerock as well. That way we have policies for each one as opposed to all of the policies for the entire place. It's also because I have a new mod which I'm using, which lets me lock the district level, or the building level, on a district-by-district basis, such as Upper Castlerock being locked to level 3 residential, which leaves us with these beautiful buildings here. Now, they are all slightly different colors, which is a bit annoying, but I like it. I do. We've also got all these pathways going between them, which we did in the previous episode, but it's actually nice to see those getting some use. Like, this guy here is going for a great old walk through the entire place and going to that house. So it's nice. People are actually walking around this place quite nicely, which I am enjoying. I'm going to do something similar with Lower Castlerock in a little bit, once we have land value increased across the board. Although, that said, most places here are getting to level 4. Like, this is a level 4 building. That's a nice level 4 building. That's a very nice level 4 building. The Briar Rose residence. Didn't we have... No, we had... Was it Briarwood? I think we had Briarwood was the name of a district in, Nerdchester. Fair enough. That's interesting. I like these modern buildings. I really do. I don't know if I like this one more or if I like this one more. I'm sort of leaning towards this one because it has a hedge out front. But these ones are quite nice as well. They have some plants. They have some nice decoration. That's a different building, actually, isn't it? No, it's the same one, I think. Yeah, they all just have different decorations behind them. Some have pools, some have tables. I think for that reason, I'm probably gonna go with this building, just because I think it would be silly to have a bunch of swimming pools in the backyards when the backyards are easily accessible from this path, and I'm not gonna bother putting in a bunch of walls and hedges to, oh, maybe I will. That is something I could technically do. I could go in there with these hedges, if I turn on Prop and Tree Anarchy, and sort of line these pathways so it seems a lot more private, and so everyone's sort of backyard is actually sort of cut off from the pathway. That is technically something I could do. It'd take a lot of work, but I mean, let's trial it on a couple of buildings here and see what this would look like, because I'm kind of curious. Because this, I mean, this is something that's going to take a bit of time, but it could look really good if we did it right. So if I line that up a little bit, sort of swing this around a little bit and chuck that just there, then sort of put another one, say, there. That does look nice, but what would it look like? What would it look like if I did it on this side as well? So if we do there and there, then rotate this a little bit. Now I have to get this perfect, don't I? So that would go, say, okay, that's being a bit of a pain. Let me just line this up as nice as I can. We'll say there, and we'll say there, just for the hell of it. We're just going to try this out and see what we can do. If I line that up a little bit better as well, we can do that, and we can do that. Now that does look... It does look better, doesn't it? I don't think I'm going to do it here, though. I think what we're going to do is we're going to just select a bunch of the same building, which... Oh, you know what would be a good idea? If that was actually a road. If we had a road done... No, because then that makes no sense. I was going to say, if that was a pedestrian road, we could technically have all the buildings facing in, and then have this building here have a bunch of hedges and that. No, it just wouldn't work. I don't know. It's a difficult one. I think what we'll do is we will just clone this building, though. So... Let's just... Oh, I don't know. I like that one too. I think we're going to go with that one. Actually, we're going to go with a slightly less modern one, because I don't think this whole space is necessarily going to be this super modern area. So, going to get rid of all the houses around here. Like so. Going to get rid of all of these ones too. So they're all going away. Have some of my hedges disappeared? Quite a lot of my hedges have disappeared. I'm not okay with this. It took me ages to place those. Have some of my hedges disappeared from in here? Yeah, one of them's gone from there. None of them are gone from around there, but yeah, some of my hedges have disappeared. I'm really not okay with that. That's actually a bit of a pain. I'm going to have to replace those at some point. I may do that off camera, though, because I don't think it's going to be the most exciting thing to see me place hedges for a second episode in a row. So that's level 4. So what we'll do is we'll lock this area to level 4. We'll select that building, and we're just going to clone it in every little residential space that we have around here. Which means this entire area is going to get very samey. In fact, it might be better to do different buildings up in this kind of area there, the curved space. But we'll do all of the same buildings in sort of the main bulk of Lower Castle Rock. Oh no, that's annoying. That building there is absolutely beautiful. That's a proper big family home. I think I'm going to try and lock that building individually, which I think overwrites the district policy. So this building shouldn't... No, maybe it is. Is it upgrading? No, that one's upgrading. Is this building locked at level 2 then? Because I think it is. I think the building policy overrules the district policy, which is excellent news because it means I can select all the buildings in this small space and have them look like these nice big family homes. So we are absolutely going to do that. Let me just go ahead and bulldoze all of the buildings up in this space, like so. Oh! I got rid of the family home! I didn't want to do that! I kind of wanted the big family home and really hope another one spawns. That would be kind of nice. Although, I'm not holding out hope. Let's get a nice level... It was a level 2 building. So we need to wait on some of these guys upgrading. That's also a nice building. Although it doesn't really match the style. We need a nice big family home. Please, please let another one of those spawn. Is that one? It is not. That's a shame. Is that one? Oh, it looks like it. Yeah, it is. That is such a beautiful building. Okay. Right, what we're going to do is we are going to be very careful. We're going to just bulldoze everything that is not that building. All right, so there we go. That's everything bulldozed. So we select this building. We're going to place it just everywhere around here. In all of these spaces. This area is going to look so good. This might be an area where I'll do the custom hedges everywhere, because that would actually make a great deal of sense. So we've placed all of those. We now need to go and select every single one of them and set the limit so it only goes to level 2 and doesn't actually go to level 4. There we go. We have a whole bunch of these beautiful big family homes around here, and I really do like them. In fact, to be honest, what I could technically do with these buildings is push them all closer together, since I can just clone the building and have it take up those 3 tiles. I don't have to worry about anything else growing in that space, especially if I lock the building to that tile. But I think that's pretty good. Oh, that one's on fire. That's a problem. Need to make sure the firefighters get to it quickly, which apparently they are. They are on it. Oh, they're right there. That's fair enough. They're still on it, though. I mean, that house has just been built and it's on fire, so, I mean, someone's... What are you... Okay, that was some interesting parking there. Good. Okay, so we have a bunch of modern-looking buildings. We have some nice big family homes up in that corner. I'm actually tempted to clone those to this side of the town as well, because they all match really nicely, and I think they'd actually look better than these buildings. Although there's something about these I like. I think these are a little bit more humble-looking than the giant family homes. I'm also pretty sure this area doesn't actually have a high-tech housing. It does have a high-tech housing policy, doesn't it? It does, yeah. But those are the only ones... Is this level 3? It's level 3, that's why. So these are actually higher level than the giant family homes over there. I didn't really... That's weird to me, that these would be lower level than those other ones, because these look like bigger houses. But I guess that's okay. I like it. I do. I really love how that area looks. I just love this whole area in general. It's actually really nice that we've got the same buildings in all these spaces. It makes it look a little bit... more, I guess, uniform in a way. I don't know, for me, it's not really a thing that you see all that often, that buildings are drastically different from each other when they're next to each other. Usually around places, at least where I'm from, buildings all sort of have a very, very similar theme. They'll vary in one degree or other, but they'll be pretty much the same. So having all the same building around there in just slightly different colors is fine by me. I actually really like how this looks. It doesn't look all that European to me. Doesn't look all that accurate to where I'm from, but I like it nonetheless. Anyway, I do want to come over to Castlerock Industrial, and I want to start working on what I had in mind for the areas up here, because we do need some housing for this area, and I'm also going to want to start working on perhaps getting a train line in here, and it might be worth also starting up some bus lines once we get these little residential areas in. So, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to put a road down. We're going to go a little bit further back. We're going to go about 20 units. And then I'm going to do a pedestrian path. Because of course I am. So we're going to do that. In fact, no we're not. That's silly. That's a silly idea. What we're going to do is we're going to get one of these roads. And we're going to go like... why do I want the grid to be? I actually think I might want the grid to be this way. So if I do a road that's, say, 30 units long, we'll go to there. What I then want to do is I want to connect this road to there. And I want to extend that, hold on. I want to do this properly. So that's going to be 4 units. So I want 6. And then I want to do the pedestrian path that I was talking about just in there. Okay. Then, I guess, delete that and replace it so the zoning doesn't get all messed up the whole way along there. So go like that. And that actually isn't going to work because the zoning's going to be off a little bit. Basically, I'm trying to get these roads in strips with a pedestrian road in between them perfectly. But I don't know what's going to work. So let me try something else. Let me upgrade to one of those roads. Let me do something like this. So there is room for a pedestrian road or a pedestrian path in between those. We'll do the same there. And we'll do the same just there. Then if I downgrade those, what are we going to get? A pretty bloody big space for those roads. That's not really what I'm wanting. Okay. I wonder if I could do it in a different way then. If I make it perfectly even, so there's a gap of 4 between those, then we downgrade those to the little roads that I want. Would that work? Will that give me a space of 5? It does. Right, that's perfect. That is exactly what we need. What we also need is to disable zoning on this road, which I can do thanks to this mod that so many people... I don't know if it was specifically that mod, but a lot of people have wanted me to get a mod that lets me toggle zoning, so we've done that, and it's so useful. Anyway, let's extend that way a little bit. Let's extend that way a little bit. And let's go ahead and we will re-enable zoning across all of these roads just to make it easier. I'm going to upgrade these roads to the wider ones again just so I can see the spacing better. And we're going to do that. And we're going to do that. And that, I think, is going to be enough space for all of these houses that I want to get in here. So we'll go ahead and downgrade these all to the smaller roads. Then we will... Actually, see, I might put trees along here. I think that could be nice. So, we're going to get a small oak on the... I kind of wanted it on the other side. Okay, I wanted it on that side. That's fine. So that one's going there. I should just be able to do this, right? Yeah, so that's fine. So we have a small oak along there. That has zoning, though. That's not quite what I wanted. Bit annoying. Okay, so downgrade all of those again, then upgrade all of those again. There we go. So a bunch of small oak trees just along there. That looks lovely. Then I guess we just continue these roads up. We'll just go, say, 5 units on that one, 10 on that one, 10 on that one. Go about 5 on that one, 5 on that one, and 5 on that one. So that seems fine. Seems fine to me. What I guess we'll do now is get the pedestrian road in here, which is going to be this going up to there. And just the whole way through, because I do want people to be able to walk about these areas nice and easily, so have these going up to all of these different spaces. We'll have one behind these buildings as well. So we'll do that. Then I want to come across... I'll just do road anarchy to make this one work. Across to there. We'll go across to there, and across to there. We will go like that, and done. Alright, so that is actually looking pretty good to me. Bring this across, bring that across, and we're good. So that's all connected together with some roads. Let's get low density housing into all of these spaces like so. And on the outsides as well, because why not? So there we go. A whole bunch of low density housing. I think it looks lovely. We could possibly do with the nice sort of alleyway going through all of this as well. Say somewhere like there. Or maybe a little bit higher up, maybe there. I think that's a little bit of a better spot. So let's do something like that. So it can go... Basically, it's going to be a nice, easy way for people to get through these different areas. Not that they'll necessarily use it, because there isn't actually a crossing there. I could, if I wanted to, put a crossing there, but I don't know if it works on these little roads. Yeah, I don't know if that is actually a crossing. I think it might be. I think technically that is a crossing, so I'm going to just take a chance with that, I guess, and hope for the best. So let me just do a couple of crossings just there and there and there. So they all now have crossings that I hope people can use. And we have the zoning in. I just need to make the connection to the road, which is going to be something fairly simple. We'll go with just a tree-lined road. Let me go and make it de-zoned. Let me extend it to, say, there. Then give it a nice little curve to it. And I think it'll be beautiful. So bring it over this way a little bit. Let's go for a 135 with a 6 and a 6. There we go. So that's a nice curve. We just want to bring this around to meet the other section roads. So something like that. That didn't really connect the way I wanted it to, I'll be honest. Let's try turning road anarchy off, because that was kind of silly. Okay, so do that, I guess. I like it. I do. I really, really do like that. So let's just continue this little bit of road over as well. And maybe we could bring a road out like this. It is a possibility, like bring a road out like that, connect it to the one down in the end there, but I don't know. Maybe just pedestrian paths going back and forth could be a better idea so people can walk to work. That seems like it would be a smarter bet, so let's just get these in first, because I am going to fill this whole area with trees at some point. So getting a path there seems like a smart bet. Getting a path here also seems like a fairly smart bet, so let's just do road anarchy on. Then bring a little path over to there. And then we'll also do one just there, going up to there. So that's a whole bunch of pathways that people can take to go ahead and get to work. I actually really like that. I do. I love how that looks. I think it looks great. We also have the pipes up there already from the space that I tried before, so let's just fill in that space as well. And let's get it zoning. Let's get it built. I'm curious to see what gets built out here. There we go. Bunch of houses popping up. We probably want to make this a district as well. That's going to be important. So let's do that right away. I don't know what we're going to call this, actually. It's right by an industrial... It's right by Castlerock Industrial. And I kind of want to just keep it within the realm of calling it Castlerock something. Just because that makes it easier to identify it from afar and see what's part of what town and all that stuff. So I'm going to have to come up with some kind of name. Might go with just the typical, like, something Crescent or whatever. That's always an option. Let me just take that across there to separate those districts. Let me just do that to make a nice neat cut. Do the same there. Do the same there. And do the same just there. Beautiful. So that's some really neat district work, if I do say so myself. Do the same there. And there. Okay. And there. Beautiful. That's... I love that. That's so good. Right, so what buildings are we getting here? Because I'm going to have to lock this district to whatever level I think works. Thus far... That bit... What the hell? Is that even... Is that a default building? I don't know. I feel like that might be a building that I've got from a... From the workshop. I don't know. It might be, it might not be, but it's a beautiful building, whatever it is. It is a I'm going to lock that to there. I'm just going to lock buildings that I think work. I think that one works too. That's a level 2, actually. Yeah, I'm just going to lock a few buildings in that I think could work for this area. I'm also going to see what level this area goes up to, because if it goes to level 3, we could get some nice looking buildings around here, though it looks like it's all going to be level 2. I'm also going to lock these buildings to level 1, because I like those as well. So, wait, is there an electrical connection right here? Have they got electric? They do. Oh, that's surprising. Okay. So that's a level 2 building as well. I don't think that one works. That's also level 2. Okay. They are climbing towards level 3, which is surprising. I don't know if I want this build. I think that building might be a little too fancy. I feel like these are a little bit too homely as well to be this close. I feel like these small ones kind of work. And they do. Oh, actually, you know what? I like that these have hedges the whole way around them. These are open at the back. These have hedges the whole way around them. That's quite nice. You're not level 2. That's fine. Who else just upgraded? You just upgraded? Going to level 3 by any chance? Nope. What about you? Level 2? I really don't know. I like these homes because they have hedges behind them. And it works really nicely with the path at the back. But these ones have hedges beside them, which separates all of them nicely. That one has a hedge at one side. That one's also completely surrounded in cobblestones, which looks a little silly. This one has just got cobbles in the areas that you drive onto and you walk onto. This one is actually the same in that regard. I think I want to go for... What are you, level 2? Fair enough. Is anything going to level 3? It doesn't really look like it, does it? That's a nice little level 1 building, actually. It's got a nice full hedge at the back. It's got one at the front. I'm going to go with that. I reckon we're going to go with that level 1 building. Because it's got everything I want it to have. Hedges. It's quite small. So yeah, we'll go with... Is that a... Oh, yeah, no, I forgot this area is going to build in an interesting way as well. Not everything is a 2x2. But I'll go with this building. I think the small little 2x2 building could look nice, although maybe a little bit too much like a cottage. I don't know. I really don't. I can't work this out. So I settled on these buildings because, quite simply, the rooftops of them are absolutely beautiful. I really like them. I think they look great from a distance. Nice little small buildings. Nothing too ridiculous. Each house is up to 2 households. So, yeah, I quite like this. I do think it could use a park or 2, though. I reckon getting a park out here could be nice, even if we don't necessarily need to increase the land value. I just like the idea. I mean, even just like a... Oh, I can't put it on the road because it's not zoned. Damn. Okay, that makes things a bit tricky. I mean, I'd like to put a park out here. I just can't. Alright. I mean... Would there be... I guess there's probably an easy way I could do it if I did something like... One of these roads coming from there. That does mess up zoning, doesn't... No, it doesn't. Okay. So if I do that... If I did that kind of thing and just put a little road across there, I guess I could do a nice little park of some sort. So that kind of thing, we'll have it start there. We'll have it go to there. And we can put a little park on that road. If anything, I can actually just connect to all, like, everything along here to that road. And, it could look kind of nice. We can put some stuff in between there. If anything, I kind of wish that was a tree-lined road. I wonder if I could upgrade it. Is that a thing I could do? I can technically, yeah. Maybe flipping it the other way around wouldn't be a terrible idea. Like flipping the trees around so it looks more like that kind of boulevard thing we have going on in the main bit of town. Although I'm thinking this should stay... Now, I really don't know, actually, just looking at this. I feel like that's a little bit too far apart. Maybe leaving that gap in there and having that kind of thing at the end there, having that kind of thing there. I do like it. I do. So I think I'm going to just keep it like that. I think that might be the better bet. It might also be a good idea to pave the space between those with a regular path to stop it from looking a little bit janky. So there we go. That actually looks pretty good. I like that. I like the lights down the middle of it. Now I can put a park on this and make the area kind of beautiful. So we'll put a nice park of some sort, a dog park perhaps, sort of in there. So we'll do that. That's right by all of the industry. Take your dog for a walk. You might get polluted, you might not. Who knows? That's part of the fun. So we'll actually put the dog park down there, I think. Get rid of that path. I would like to put maybe a playground in. Oh god, that's one hell of a spot for a playground. But we're going with it. We're gonna make it work. Let's just get the pathways around here. So let's come over to here. That's technically connected. Yeah, I guess those are technically connected. Bring that to there, and bring that to there. That is not the pathway I wanted. There we go. So those are all technically connected together. We'll do one just there as well, so you don't have to go through the park if you don't want to. And over on this side, I do want to connect that to, say, there. And we'll also do the same thing there. So if you want to, you can go through the parks, but you don't have to, which is good. Give people choice. That's always a good thing. Let's see, can I make that a little bit better looking? If I go to, say, there and then there? Yeah. Alright, I guess all we have to do now is get the trees in here. You know what? That area looks absolutely beautiful from out here. I mean, I know this is a ridiculous distance to look at it from, but it actually just looks kind of good, and I'm actually kind of proud of this. Granted, you know, you look that way and it's like, oh, there's factories and smoke and pollution and death. But other than that, you know, other than the death that's on the horizon, it's a nice area. And I think I could probably hide the, you know, destruction of the planet with some nice big trees. Is that ironic? That's kind of a, is that almost, that's almost ironic, I think? I don't know. The definition, my definition of irony sort of fluctuates like crazy. It shouldn't, because it's not, like, definitions of words generally don't fluctuate unless it's a word that has, like, a lot of different meanings, but irony is not one of those things that I think does. I think irony, but anything that's ironic is sort of, that's kind of an internet thing, isn't it? It's like, that's so ironic! It's not. But I don't know if it's ironic that these trees are blocking the view of the, massive amounts of pollution in there. That's something I'm going to leave up to you, internet, to decide. But yeah, we're doing a reasonable job of blocking it. I want to get a few more trees in there. This is almost too many trees. But I think that just about works. I love how that looks, though. I really do. Okay, so what we're going to do now is pretty much this same thing, but over here, and a bit smaller. So let's do that. Okay, this is actually looking really interesting, having all those buildings around here. I've also renamed the two areas to Alder Park and Alder Crescent, considering some of the trees in there are, well, alder trees. So I figured that was a fairly easy way to get the name. I mean, these giant ones are pine trees, but I figure Pine Park and Pine Crescent were a little too simple, so we went with Alder, which I like. I do. I think it works. I also really just love how those areas look. I think they look really, really good. And it does look like we're having fewer issues anyway, with workers. What I will do, though, I think, is I'm going to set Alder Park to have the, where is it? The schools out policy. because I figure it is probably a good idea to have that policy in this area so that people will be inclined to work in industry. It also looks like we were having some land value issues there for a second, but we seem to be okay now, which is nice. But yeah, I really love how those areas look. I think they look great. This almost looks like its own little town away from Castlerock, but it is technically part of Castlerock. And if I really wanted to, I could get another little sort of suburb in here, but I really enjoy the split between them. I think it just looks good. I'm also eyeing these up and realizing, they only take up 2 tiles. That's why this has looked weird to me. We're getting some new buildings for that. Let's see. That's a full 3 tiles. Okay, we're getting these ones. They're only level 2. But we are gonna go for level 2 buildings instead. So let's just, they're gonna automatically get bulldozed. I'm just gonna bulldoze them myself so I can go ahead and grab those other buildings. That's the the game plan here. So grab those and just chuck them into all of those spaces so that we can have a nice looking area that's filled up a little bit more than those previous buildings were doing. So just get all of those into there. And let's have a look at the new and improved Upper Castlerock once I get this pathway in here, because for some reason I didn't have one. There we go. That, to me, looks a lot better. I really enjoy how that looks. That's much, much better. Although those buildings do actually have cobbles the whole way around them. So that doesn't really work as well with the paths I have going on there. These buildings have cobbles. These buildings are just not cobbles, just sort of gravel. They would work so much better. I'm gonna have to just keep them though. It looks okay. It does the job. These buildings fit really nicely. Oh god, what are you? What the hell is that? What is this? Did I not lock this area to level 3? Level 2, rather? Excuse me, sir. What is this? Why are you guys... Are you not part of the district? Okay, maybe you're not fully part of the district. I don't think someone... Did you guys not get the memo for this? Seriously. You should not be a level 3 building in there. Now you're on fire, that's great. Alder Park. Level 2, please. You're level 3. Should you not be getting... There you go, you got bulldozed. You're getting bulldozed. And you're getting bulldozed as well. I want to put those buildings back. So, that one, there, and there. And bulldoze you. And put one there. Right, so that seems fine to me. That building is on fire. There is a building here that apparently... Really? Are you really not part of the district just because you've got that little bit there? Okay, well that's fixable. You're probably not part of the district either. You guys I assume are, but I'll be careful there and just do that. So bulldoze you and clone you. Right. So that should be fine. It also seems that fire coverage for this whole place is pretty good. Which is very important, actually. Yeah, it's not terrible. I do think we could do with a small firehouse just out here. So I think we'll just chuck one there. Maybe rotate it a little bit and put it there instead. Not quite there, but there. Yeah, that looks good. So that firehouse can cover the industrial area and the 2 older districts. As for policing, policing seems fine. Medical coverage isn't great. I still don't know that we need a hospital here. Although this could be a really nice place for a hospital, now that I think about it. Sort of by the castle. You know what? We're gonna try that. We're gonna try and use this little space here and change it up a little bit to make a nice space for a hospital. So let me just get rid of a bunch of these bushes around here. Also need to get rid of the zoning, so let's do that. Let's go to the tree brush. Let me just make the brush a lot smaller. Then get rid of some of the bushes and see what we can do with a... I guess just a hospital space. There we go. The hospital has its own road. There's a little path here just in case you want to, I mean, use it, I guess. You can if you like. And I'm pretty sure this building, yeah, that building's going to get demolished because the hospital's taking up a bit of space of its, for its zoning. That's fine. We could, I was going to say we could maybe squeeze a park in there. I don't think we will. I think what we'll do, well, I say we're going to not squeeze a park in there. I mean, we're not going to do an actual placed park. I think a little custom park could look beautiful there, though. Especially if we do a little bit of a pathway around it, so that it's almost something for the hospital grounds. I think that could be really, really nice. So let me do this kind of thing just there. And we'll do a similar thing just there. So that little path's going to go around the park. I love that hospital building. I really do. I know it's a little bit much for the town. I think it's actually the tallest building we have, but that's okay. I actually quite enjoy that. I think it's nice that the hospital's sort of visible from anywhere. And I imagine that'll give pretty good coverage to the area in general. So let's see what we can do. Do I want this park to be paved? I think I do. I think we'll do a bit of paving in here. Does that cover the path? No, it doesn't. That's beautiful. Okay, I was worried it covered the pathway. It doesn't. So we'll just pave around all of this. It makes the pathway a little bit weird looking, but I'm not too worried about that. To fill up all that space. Yeah, it does some weird stuff with the path. Let's see if we can do this in a better way that doesn't just cause it to act weird. So if I just fill out these corners as best I can, sort of like that. Obviously the path wouldn't be perfect, it is a gravel path, but I want it to look as best as it possibly can. So do that kind of thing, bring it down this way a little bit. And do that. I mean, I guess that works. I can sort of hide some of the imperfections with trees, which is usually my thing anyway. So let me just put a nice big bloody tree there. So that's not so bad. And I'll put another great big tree just there. Yeah, I like it. We'll also put one at that little corner too, just to make it look quite nice. So that's going to be a nice little plaza area for anyone that's unfortunately in hospital. Do I want to use some hedges for this? I think that could be kind of nice actually if I did something like that along there. Maybe move it a little bit. Maybe use the smaller hedges. That's probably a better idea because I can get a little bit more precise with the positioning of them. So if I do something like that, then another small hedge just there. Then we get another small hedge just there. That's actually pretty good. I like it. So we'll do that kind of thing. We'll get another small hedge just there to sort of nicely bring it to a corner. And then have one little section of hedge going there. And yeah, I like that. I like it sort of being open to the road as well. I think that's quite nice. As for this corner, I reckon we could get a couple of sections of just some hedge work here. Again, to make the park feel a little bit more enclosed. Just about the place. So we'll do that. I like it. I do. I think that's quite nice. Let's get a tree back in that corner, just because I did take one out, and I think it could look really nice to have a tree just sort of on the corner of the hedges. So we have that. All we need to do now is get some benches in here and just all sorts of things. So we'll get some benches to start with. We'll go with the high-level benches, because they're quite nice. We'll rotate them to be just there. We'll actually get a couple of them. We'll get a couple just beside each other. So, something like that. Yeah, that's quite nice. I do think we'll want a light amongst them. What is that? Where did that come from? I don't remember getting these. They're very interesting looking lights, but I don't remember getting them. That one's actually super cool. What is utility pole? Oh, I can place these? I didn't know that. Does that have a light on it? Wait a minute. Is that a street light I can use? A wooden pole for rural areas and industrial areas. I'm going to have to toy about with that, because that looks really interesting. I don't think that's the light I want. I think we're just going to go with, I'm tempted to go with that one, because it just looks really interesting. But the better light for the area is probably going to be just the yellow street light. Even though it's probably not going to be nighttime, I'm probably not going to ever turn the day-night cycle on for this place. At least, not for gameplay purposes. I may turn it on for the sake of, some cinematics or just to have a look at the place, but when it comes to gameplay, it's unlikely I'm going to ever actually use the day-night cycle. Same with dynamic weather. Dynamic weather on this map is going to be nothing but rain anyway, so not really all that necessary. I think this looks good. As for this little center section, Maybe one of these could look quite nice. Just something like... This is getting it's getting a little bit cluttered, though. I think adding one of these is almost going to make it look like I'm just throwing stuff into the area for the sake of throwing stuff into the area. Maybe if we lined it up with the chairs over here, we could make it look like the chairs are sort of behind the flowers and it's sort of in its own little enclosed area. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. I do reckon putting a small tree there could be nice, though. That is not a small tree. That is also not a small tree, but I'll allow it, since you can clearly see under it anyway, so that's quite nice. Maybe just more benches, more of these, or less of these rather, and some of the different ones, such as the round ones. There they are. Now let's get a couple of those in here. Let's just dot about the place. There we go. And there we go. All in sort of hospital colors as well. I really like that area. I do. I think that's really nice. Pretty simple, but just a nice little park area for the hospital, which will hopefully make everyone happy. Now, how is the health coverage? Still not amazing, but that entire town's covered, and I imagine it'll be okay out here. Fire coverage is pretty decent. Policing coverage is lacking a little bit, but I'm going to let it be. Now, what I would like to try is I want to look at those utility poles. So I'm going to just upgrade these roads all to have the grass on the side of them for a second. I can't upgrade that road over there, that's fine. But if I do this and I go to here, where is the utility pole? There it is. So if I do that, that looks kind of cool, actually. It looks fairly accurate for an industrial zone, so I think I'm gonna just allow that. I can also, I realize, just adjust the zoning of these areas to update the road, which is nice. That's a nice and quick way to adjust the utility poles. It does mean this whole area is going to have to rezone, though, unfortunately, but we'll just have to deal with it. As for this, we want the utility pole as well, so upgrade that section of road. It now has zoning on it. That's not something I want. So let's fix that. That little bit did have zoning. Maybe we'll just let that little bit have zoning then. Was that a one-way road or a two-way road? I feel like that was one-way. I'm pretty sure that was a one-way road out of here, wasn't it? So, do that. It now has utility poles. We also want this to have the utility poles as well. So let's go to there. And it is going to have zoning, and going to have zoning, and going to have zoning. And again, it does mess with the zoning of the area, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. So there we go, bunch of utility poles. This whole area is gonna have to be reconstructed because the zoning has been completely messed up. But that's fine. I'm not too worried about it. That's also not right, though. We need to connect that path again. That should be connected to just there. There we go. Alright, so utility poles about the place. Definitely looks better. Definitely looks more industrial for my liking. And is that area going to build up? It will eventually. Okay. And demolish you. There we go. Nice big industrial building going in there. And you know what? I think I'm going to lock this building to level 1. Just in case anything... If it upgrades, I want that building and this building as well. Which I think is now level 2. I want those buildings to stay as they are. And hopefully this one doesn't get demolished for not having enough workers. I don't think it will. But yeah, I want those old buildings to stay as they are. They look great. I really love this area, though. I really do. I think our next goal has to be getting the Eden project so we can get rid of the pollution, so we can have the trees not all be orange. But that's something that's going to be needing a city. That's the problem. Like, we're going to need a city to do that, because the Eden project would sort of go right in the middle. Or we'll go with my idea to put the all of the monuments or whatever these are. Yeah, monuments into their own space. And looking at this space, that could be quite nice for it in there. Or on, like, the island or something. Monument Island. Oh, there's a name waiting to happen. Anyway, there is one more thing I want to do in this episode, which is, of course, the most exciting thing you can do in City Skylines, which is bus lines. Oh, yeah. That's exciting. So we're going to start one just here. And this is just going to be the Castlerock Circle line, basically. It's going to stop down by the hospital. It's going to stop down there. It's going to have a stop just there. It can have a stop sort of in here. It's not going to go into the center of the town, unfortunately. But that's okay. It's going to have a stop down there. It's going to have a stop just there. It actually technically could go up and around like that. But maybe bringing it down and into the center of town wouldn't be the worst idea. So having it go to like... Oh, it does have to go around because that's a one-way system. Okay, no, it is just going to be the Castlerock Circle line. So let me pause for a second. It's getting the wrong kind of buses. Castlerock Circle line. I'm also going to do L1 at the start, so it's going to be listed nicely. The buses for that are going to be just 4 regular buses, methinks. So let me add 1, 2, 3, and hope for the best. So that's the Castlerock Circle line. I'm not going to do an inverted one, because I just don't really see much of a point in that. And what I'd also like to do is have a bus that stops opposite to that, just there. We'll have one that stops in the middle of town as well, just say there. That stops there. And that then goes into the industrial zone. So it's going to come down to, say, I don't know, there, perhaps? Or somewhere over there? I don't know. Middle of the industrial zone is about there, so that's fine. Then it's going to come back and just go there. So that is going to be the, this is L2, the Castlerock Industrial line. That's fine. Then I think I want a third bus line that comes from the 2 Alder Crescent, or Alder Crescent and Alder Park, and into Castlerock. That's my thinking. So, this bus line can go from there, then over to, say, I guess the middle of Castlerock, then back out. It's going to stop in front of there, I guess. Then it's going to sort of loop around and go to there. So that's going to be the, I don't know, the older line, I guess. We'll do L3 Castlerock Older line. So that's beautiful, and it's going to have just buses as well. Let me just double check that I set line 2 to only have buses. They're not in order, that's annoying. Line 2 is only buses as well. That's line 3. Line 2. Yeah, it needs to be buses too. There we go. Alright, so how many vehicles are we looking at? A few for the Castlerock Industrial line. Probably don't want that many. We'll go for 3. And for the older line, we're going to go for 3 as well. So that seems fine to me. Close that. Where are the buses? Where do we actually have the buses spawning these days? There's the depot. Alright, so they're doing their thing. Hopefully, we'll see a lot of people using these buses. There are already people waiting over here. And there's a lot of people waiting over here, which is really nice to see, so that's great news. That bus is also quite nice looking. It's been a while since I've seen buses in this game that aren't covered in snow. So that's pleasant to see. It is also really pleasant to see a lot of people using that. So that's excellent. That is absolutely excellent. Quite a few people waiting for the buses around here, which is good news. Over here, a few people, a small handful of people waiting about, and sort of the same there, which isn't so bad. I am kind of tempted to maybe move the buses over a little bit, though. Might be a good idea to move these buses onto that side of the road, because I feel like that would probably make a little bit more sense than having them stop right beside people's houses. So, yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe not having it stop. No, I feel like having it stop right by the hospital is a good idea. Then the same with these lines too. So they're going to move just across the road to there. Now they are still stopping opposite people's houses, so I guess technically these ones could do that kind of thing. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. Alright, that's not so bad. I mean, they can just cross the road. I can actually add in some crosswalks if I want to, so I'll just add one there and there. And we'll get one just before the bus stops as well. There we go, so people can cross over no problem. Which should make it nice and easy for people to jump from one bus to another. And we want to do a similar thing here so that they can cross the road between those buses too. So yeah, that's good. That's some bus lines. That's Castlerock looking even better than it was previously. And that's a few people waiting down there. That's quite a few people waiting there. I really like it. I do. I think these little suburbs look great. There's a fair bit of traffic on these roads, which is also kind of interesting. The roads aren't completely empty. That's the thing. We also have 65 people. Not as many people as I thought we'd have for all of this. Although I guess a lot of our zoning is low density. So that's probably fair. Anyway, folks, I reckon I'm going to leave it there for today. So thank you kind of for watching. This has been City Skylines and Emerald County. If you have any ideas for things you'd like to see me do in this world in Emerald County, do feel free to let me know. Apparently we have trains going back and forth. Since when have we had those? Or are they going? No, they're leaving. Okay. It is nice they're using the regional trains. That's a nice touch. Anyway, yeah, if you have anything you'd like to see me do in Emerald County, do feel free to let me know. If you have any suggestions or improvements or anything you'd like to see me change, again, let me know. If you like the video, dislike it, whatever. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.